The round of 8 again, and an extremely important series for Hyun, Ben. Not just in this tournament, but for his entire year. If Hyun makes it to the round of 8, and then if he makes it to the semifinals, he almost guarantees himself a BlizzCon ticket. That doesn't mean that Naniwa would be out, but then there just has to be one more guy overtaking Naniwa, and then Naniwa would be out. So, important game for both of these guys, and an important game for all the Feniwas. And I'm a Feniwa.
I know you are, Kev. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whirlwind. Fanny-wise is such a funny word to me.
I know.
Because fanny is another word for butt. And to me, that's hilarious.
You have a great sense of humor.
I'm going to giggle about that for a while. What are you doing, Hyun? Normal stuff.
You didn't introduce any of
You're
them.
right, I'm sorry.
You stopped at the Fanny one. There you go, guys. Ben thinks of a butt and his mind blocks.
Can't believe no one else is laughing at that.
Because we are not 12 anymore. Butts are not that funny.
Okay, top left-hand corner of the map. Red Protoss player. It's Liquid Hero. And down in the bottom left, the blue Zerg from Team Quantic. His name is Hyun. Got a lot of fans for both these players here.
Forge opening over here by Hero doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it does give him the potential to cannon rise. Now we saw this in the other day with Oz, but Oz faced an early pool opening, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. In this case, I would say it does make a little bit of sense for Hero to cannon if he wants to. Also, I want to add, of course, all the old results between these two guys. That's all fun and nice and statistics, but it doesn't really matter anymore. What does matter is that just last weekend Hero lost 3-0 against Live, and I felt he played good in the games that he lost. And there we go. Hero is going to cannon rush.
Here we go. He's at least going to
try.
Fake it, force some drones to be pulled, and Hyun is not taking any chances. 6 drones.
I wonder if he's going to bring the second probe here as well.
Oh wow, Hero's serious about this.
Yeah.
There's no way with this many drones pulled.
I think there is. You know, Wiedermins would be able to pull it up.
Dude, this is like 10 drones.
So?
It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. But I think it's already worth it for Hero. This much lost mining time is super substantial.
I mean, he could always still. Okay, he's gonna lose that probe as well. Now Hyun knows that it's safe. You know, you can always keep that probe around. If you see the opportunity to somehow wall in a cannon, you can still go for it. But Hero realized that it's not worth the risk and not worth waiting for. So he already dropped the Nexus.
11 drones to keep that from happening. It is always worth it, guys, if you don't lose to Cannon Rush. But in this case, Hero just instantly dropped the Nexus when he saw that many workers had been pulled. I think he's going to come out of this feeling pretty happy.
The only thing that you shouldn't forget is that it does delay Hero's tech a lot. Of course, it took longer for the Nexus to go down. He did invest a little bit. 2 probes out in that phase of the game, not mining. That's also costing Hero a lot of money. By the time that both those probes arrive, Hyun has been mining with the 2 drones that he would potentially pull later on. The Nexus, also getting the cannon before the gate because he was worried about a couple of links running across the map. I do agree with you that Hero lost a lot of mining time. I don't think it set him. I don't think it set Hyun that far back though. And of course, I mean that Hyun lost a lot of mining time.
Well, Zerg can of course recover super quickly just because of the whole larva mechanic. We already have queens out.
I have no idea why I keep confusing both players. I guess they both have 4 character nicknames and both starting with an H, but they're pretty different.
They're pretty much polar opposites personality-wise. Hero very shy and reserved. Hyun is
super outgoing, always funny.
He is not afraid to dress up like Spider-Man and jump around on stage.
I made a little Vine video with them today. I actually want to make a Vine video where all 4 players would say that they're Captain Hero or Captain America today. And then Hero heard that Hyun said it, and then Hero is like, no, you're Spider-Man. I thought it was really funny. I was like, alright, better video. Thank you, Hero.
Move probe going to come out and do a little bit of scouting. Maybe even has devious intentions.
Hero hasn't scouted his 3rd hatchery yet from Hyun. That's definitely something that he would love to confirm. And he can't really go up to 3 bases before he sees that. What we saw from Hero multiple times against Live is that he still lost Phoenixes.
Hyun's so good. He sees the probe already.
That's what he does in this phase of the game. He only has 2 Zerglings on the map, so it is pretty impressive indeed. And it's going to be a Stargate build once more. And, most likely we're going to see a couple of Phoenixes, then a few Void Rays. A couple of Phoenixes first just for map control and figure out what is going on. He could pull a max set as well and just make a Phoenix 2 base attack, which I think would be maybe quite smart. Hyun might have been watching the games of Live against Hero. We see his Roach one going down, but no, it's just a safety Roach one.
Fast lair for Hyun. That's interesting. That is a... Oh, that's not that fast.
No,
7 minutes.
7
minutes.
After the Roach one as well, so I think it's okay. We've seen here Hyun try a couple of Nidus Hydra pushes as well at IM. He did it against Naniwa on Derelict.
Yeah.
It worked well for him.
It might be coming back in fashion a little bit. Some of these Korean players have been experimenting with it some. Nidus is still one of the very underused layer tech choices for Zerg players to make, but it's exciting and it's fun and it's cool. It's also expensive as hell.
Robo going down for Hero. He has quite a bit of minerals. I think it's just going to be a 3-base hero, even though he's only building 1 probe at a time. He's up to 46. I think the 2-base... No, okay, he's definitely going to go up to 3 bases. 2 bases, Phoenix and Robo is not very good on Whirlwind anyways. So it's just going to be a pretty standard PvZ. Hyun is already in a comfortable work lead though. I think that Hyun is feeling very... very satisfied with how this game has unfolded so far. Yeah, sure, he lost a little bit of mining time in the start of the game, but after that, it's been all good for him.
Third base going to go down for Hero, and he's going to do this right beneath the nose of this Overseer. If Overseers have noses, I know they have lots of eyes.
Probably have a nose somewhere. Maybe one of their eyes serves as a nose.
They kind of have these little antenna things.
Imagine if you could smell with your eyes. Wouldn't that just change?
I think snakes, no, can they? I feel like snakes can smell with their eyes.
Well, that's very impressive. A couple of links are going to confirm that this is not just a fake third base, but it's actually a real base. The Overseer didn't get a whole lot done, but it did see that base go down. Robotics Bay going down now as well. I find it interesting that Hero is expanding towards here, not farther away. Easier to defend against Roaches and Lynx, but also makes you more susceptible to a big Roach Hydra Viper push.
Well, we are going to see Roaches and Hydras, Kev. 56 drones out on the map for Hyun right now, and he's making a few more.
That Queen was so close. Oh, actually, he did land the inject. Wow. I thought he was picked up before.
Injects with her dying breath, Kev. Roaches and Lings making their way up into the third expansion of Hero. Hero doesn't have that many units out on the map. Where's Hero's army?
He's going to have a photon overcharge, and that cannon is pretty well protected. He should be able to wipe in plenty of units. He has a Void Ray in production. It's going to take a little while before the Void Ray is there. I still think...
close.
Nah, he should be okay. With wiping in Zealous, there's an Immortal to help out against the Roaches.
Nexus taking a lot of damage. Kevin is going to go down. Roaches and Lings getting it done. For Hyun.
Exactly the right amount of units. If he had 2 Roaches less or a couple of Lynx less, he probably wouldn't have got it. That's a massive pickup for Hyun. Of course, it wasn't for free, but it's still a really good pickup because Roaches and Lynx are very expendable.
Yep, those units probably cost more than the 400 minerals that Hero invested in the Nexus, but the time is the real key. That means, oh no, not again. There's not enough here for these Lings. The Zealots are going to do work. There's no sentries to force field. The Nexus is once again going to be canceled. Oh man, Hyun is just relentless. This is the Hyun that we know and love. These Phoenixes, by the way, are on like a sightseeing tour. Below us, we see a Zerg base. On this creep, the units do move a little faster, so make sure to get out of the way when the Hydras show up.
Day 81, they still think I'm an Overlord.
Phoenixes are going to go ahead and peace out upon confirming that Hydra production has begun. First Colossus also out on the map for Hero now. And it means that he is going to begin amassing a very formidable Protoss army, something that'll be tough for Hyun to continue crashing into. But man, Hyun has delayed mining at that third for so long that I think Hero's going to have a hard time, man.
And once more, we got to ask ourselves, was it the right question to expand towards Hyun? I thought it was going to be a little easier for him to defend against Roaches and Lynx, but that would be in the later phase of the game. I didn't expect Hyun to commit the way that he did, but it was just perfect. It was the exact right amount of units that he needed. And that second cancel, well, that was just bonus damage, so it was just extra nice.
Yeah, it was almost like building a Reaper.
Finally,
Hero's third Nexus is going to finish up. By the time that has happened, Hyun has gone up to 150 supply. He's begun his hive. He's getting his upgrades. His Hydra production is in full force. Man, I think Hero is in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, but Hyun has to be careful though, because without Vipers, I'm not sure how effective these Hydras are going to be. And I think he realizes, he's like, there are Colossus waiting for me.
He's not going to attack up into that without some higher tech. But what he is going to do is start moving around.
Time Warp has to go down.
Forcing Hero to maneuver at Mothership Core. Will get away.
I think Hero should just chase these units down.
A couple of free Hydras. That's a good pickup for Hero.
There are 2 additional star gates going down as well in the main base of Hero, which is interesting. A little bit of music.
15 roaches coming. As soon as that hive finishes up, I think we'll see the first few vipers entering the field. As Hyun continues to power ahead, 165 supply over 140. Hero's done a good job of keeping up, though.
I think Infestus would have been great in this game, looking at how Hero dropped those additional Stargates. I love how he's picking up these couple of Hydras as well. They were just a little exposed, a little too far away from the rest. Has to be very careful with these Phoenixes.
Yep. Here come those first 3 Vipers. Man, those are some ballsy Phoenixes.
Picking up the drones, gonna get those drones as well. Did Hero even know about this fort base? Yeah, he did scout it early on. I'm not sure what he scouted. Maybe a hallucinated Phoenix.
A few more free drone kills waiting for him.
Yeah. No NTR here at all.
Goes after the gas drones, guys, just because it taxes Hyun's APM that much more. If you don't remember to replace those drones on gas, it will cost you in the long run. 3 Vipers about to pop out for Hyun.
I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. I believe that Hero should have enough to deal with this army. Of course, the Adducts are going to pretty much determine the outcome of this battle, but I think with all these Phoenixes and a couple of Void Rays, maybe a Photon Overcharge, a couple of Force Fields, you should say that Hero should at least be able to keep this third base alive.
Certainly A move versus A move, I think Hero would be fine here, but we can see Hyun is positioning already for a bit of a surround. Vipers are here, and they do have energy for Abducts. This might get a little bit tricky. Here come the Vipers, and they're going to immediately pull the Colossi out of the fight. This means Hydras are fighting Void Rays almost on their own. The Colossi are going to go right down, and that is, well, you know, there's enough Void Rays that this will be eventually stability for Hero.
There are not enough Hydras, only a single Hydra remaining, so all of these roaches are eventually going to fall as well. I think this was a fantastic hold by Hero in the long run.
Yeah, look at the supplies. 128 supply for Hero. Hyun walks out of this with 117 supply.
Guys?
He's gonna remax with, not even remax, he's going to make 16 Hydras. What? This is the Hyun likes to bring his spores along to recharge his Vipers, but this one was forgotten about. He's on a very slow tour of Whirlwind.
That was just such a good fight for Hero. Yes, he lost the Colossus, but it took a long time before the Colossus to go down. And they still got plenty of swipes off. A lot of Hydras melted immediately, and he used the Phoenix so effectively to pick up the Hydras. I don't think it was a great idea for Hyun to split up his army. Maybe the idea was great, but it was almost impossible to execute perfectly.
Theoretically, the idea was let the Hydras fight the Void Rays and then pull the Colossi into the Roaches, but it just didn't quite play out that way. And ultimately, it ends up hurting Hyun a little bit. He is back up to 173 supply. Making a couple of Ultras. Colossus production had more or less halted.
Which really surprised me, man, because he knows about this crazy amount of Void Rays that's out already. You could say Ultras are always pretty good, but still, when there's 7-8 Void Rays, I don't think he had melee upgrades throughout the entire game, correct? He has mostly ranged upgrades.
Yeah, he has been investing in that. It's only a single armor upgrade on these Zerglings. This swell of Lings is going to go attack into the 4th base, I believe, and I don't know that Hero is going to be able to save that 4th.
He could recall.
Oh man! Right as the probe transfer happens too, big Zealot warp in might clean this up, but not before a few probes fall, and the Nexus is going to take a little bit of damage.
These Zerglings are not very well upgraded. That's why I find the choice for Ultralisk in this phase of the game even weirder. Ultras are so expensive, and they're also so gas intensive that I don't think they're going to be able to do a whole lot.
And supply-wise, it's 194 supply to 194 supply, so even. There's a single Ultra.
Now there are 3 more.
There's 2 more somewhere. Here they come. Now, with Queens, these Ultras can absorb a ton of damage. Uh-oh. These Zealots are like, let's rethink this.
They used to be a lot smaller. Phoenix are like, ugh, not enough gym. Can't lift.
Ultras, it's going to be an Ultra attack. You don't often see this. The old Ultralisk run by.
And at the same time, these Roaches and Hydra are going to try to make something happen over here at dirt base as well. There are a lot of Queens, but still, I feel this army of Hero is so much stronger.
Way better fighting army here for Hero than for Hyun, and this is going to be pretty one-sided. Queens are staying alive for a while, but they're just not going to kill very much. Yes, the Ultras do a lot of damage at the 4th base, but at what cost, Kev? It's down to 125 supply against 140.
Yeah, picking up this 4th base is really good, but now Hero can just basically march across the map and start putting on some serious pressure. He has an Observer as well, so you could at least start with the denying creep a little bit, which I really think he should start doing.
Yeah, this is a rough spot. I mean, I think honestly, this is the kind of army, the kind of Protoss army that a Zerg player wants to be playing passive, like Infestor, Spore Crawler, Viper,
I mean,
maybe even Swarm Host.
He had a crazy amount of minerals, and he's at least been spending that now a little bit, but he's just never been that rich gas-wise. He's going to lose these Hydras as well. Phoenix is so extremely good against Hydras in low numbers. It's almost not fair. Now they can go to town as well on this mineral line, pick up a couple of drones. I must say, Hero's Phoenix control throughout this entire game has been really good.
The Phoenixes have been so cost-effective through this entire game, and they're just continuing to pay for themselves.
Queens with +2 upgrades are very hard to kill with Phoenixes. Today I learned.
2 of them will go ahead and fall, though. Spore Crawler will be repositioned, but it's not going to kill much, as these Phoenixes just have to move away.
Still more Ultras on the way, which I think
continues to be a questionable choice against all these Void Rays.
Yeah, and certainly with the upgrades. Like if he has mass upgrades already, like a perfect upgrade, then I'd say, okay, maybe you're able to get a great engagement somehow. He has to be so careful. There are so many High Templars here. Feedbacks will land.
Rallied into the army. That is an incredibly expensive mistake. And Hyun will once more have to reconsider his position.
Jackpot.
It will take a long time for those Vipers to kill, or for those Phoenixes to kill that many Overlords. But eventually, Kev.
There was a Spore Crawler. It was just very, very hidden. I think it wasn't ready either.
Yeah, Hyun severely supply blocked as a result of that.
I mean, what kind of army can Hyun really make right now? Like, the more Hydras he makes, if a couple of massive storms land on top of that army, it's almost going to be impossible. Hydras and Creep are always amazing against most of those units. As long as you have Vipers, but Storm is so scary.
He should be building tons of Spore Crawlers, I think. That just gives him a staging ground, and then using the Vipers to abduct different units. Spores are great against Colossi when the Colossi are standing on top of them. And
you should have seen my face the first time I realized that missile turrets could attack Colossi. I had another happy face. First Tempest in production now as well. Perhaps Hero already anticipating for that phase of the game. Oracle in production now as well. Maybe he's going to cast Revelation.
The map hack. As our friend Fuser might say.
Yeah, and still has a reasonable amount of map vision, map control. I would even say.
His been great, and he's been constant with it. He's also been constant with his Queen production. Just he's been using them to give extra, I guess, life to these Ultralisks. We see another Ultralisk run by, if you can call it that, at the 4th expansion here. This one's going to be supplemented with a couple of Hydras, so once more this base.
And at the same time, Hyun is again going to try to make something happen. He picked off the Mothership Core, but these storms, ooh.
Immortals sent over. They're not going to do very well against these Hydras, although they make such short work of the Ultralisks. And with the Zealot Warp in, it's going to be A-OK for Hero, and Hyun continues to trade ineffectively.
Yeah, but Hyun still has a lot more money than Hero, so I guess it's okay, sort of, for Hero to throw away, or for Hyun to throw away a little bit of money. He's making Corruptors now as well, and I think he already has a Greatest Spire, but there are already Tempests on the way, including an Oracle as well for Revelation, so Broodlords are not the choice either.
Hero is
it's really hard to say what is the right thing. Nice abduct. Poor Zelos thought they were getting away, but they were not.
Hero has just kind of said slow and steady wins the race, and he is really masked up as, wow, there's a huge revelation on the army of Hyun. Looks like Hyun might try to pick a fight, but Hero wants none of it, not on creep at least.
No, these High Templars are in the front.
Ultralisk takes a ton of damage very quickly. And will Hyun turn and fight? It looks like he might have to, and here we go. The big engagement. Storm on the Hydras is going to be super effective. Vipers unable to really offer anything in terms of support to this army, and that was a one-sided fight if ever there has been one. Hyun's army melts. Hero's army marches on. Zerglings are not good against Zealots, Hyun. And this one might be over, Kev. 82 supply against 170. Hyun's got a ton of money, but he's just got nothing that he can buy with it.
I think you're right, man. I think it's all over for Hyun. I think it just all kind of went wrong that very first fight, where he lost so many Hydralisks, so many Roaches, and Hero was able to stabilize in 3 base. He had reasonable upgrades going for him already, and he had all the tech buildings that he was hoping for. He had a robotics facility, had a couple of high units, was marching towards Storm, also had a couple of Stargates on the map. I think that was pretty much it.